Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Chelsea play Legia Warsaw tonight, but I don't want to make this video massively about the build-up to this game because, look, we're 3-0 up from the first leg. If anything, this should be a little audition for some of the Cobham boys to get a chance at Stamford Bridge, European quarter-final. I mean, it's not quite going to the Bernabeu, is it? But at the end of the day, this should be job done. Legia Warsaw in that first leg offered absolutely nothing. But we're going to go into the Chelsea lineup at the end of this video. So make sure you stay tuned until the very end. I've got some big news to discuss today regarding Chelsea's midfield. Some interesting developments leading ahead to this summer when it comes to player exits. If you didn't watch yesterday's video, you won't know that GBFC memberships are now linked in the description. There's early access to the podcast content and also a members-only Q&A for certain tiers. I'll leave a link to it in the description with more information. Let's begin. Chelsea have no plans to sell Moises Caicedo despite genuine interest from Al Nassr, as Mike called. £115 million paid and valuation significantly higher now. Nassr in for a big summer, also working on a wide attacker and renewing Cristiano Ronaldo's contract. Moises Caicedo to Saudi Arabia. It sounds a bit ridiculous, and it is a bit ridiculous because he signed a long-term contract at Chelsea. I'm only talking about this today because of two reasons. If Moises Caicedo isn't necessarily happy at Chelsea, which I don't think he isn't happy, there's nothing to suggest that he's not happy. But if Moises Caicedo is looking at this Chelsea project and he's like, I'm not really sure where I go here. Caicedo, if Saudi money was to come in for him, right? Chelsea Football Club, if there was like £150 million offer or something mad, you know it, I know it. The Chelsea ownership are probably looking at it thinking, interesting. That's big money. Long amortized contract, big money offer. Okay, cool. We could flip that and make some money on Caicedo. Obviously, this is all hypothetical, but at the same time, for Caicedo, he could go to Saudi Arabia, make an absolute bucket load of cash for a couple of years, and still end up at one of Europe's top clubs competing for Champions League and league titles. That could genuinely happen if Chelsea aren't serious. We don't get Champions League football next season. And I wouldn't put it past this ownership if a massive offer came in. If they were like, this is a bit too good to refuse. Caicedo would then be like, well, I thought I was completely irreplaceable, the number one midfielder, which he absolutely is. I don't want to see Caicedo go for any money whatsoever. I'm just mentioning it today because it concerns me. When you see that Saudi Arabian clubs this summer are going to be spending big money again, Caicedo is such a phenomenal footballer, and I'm just so concerned about the way that Chelsea Football Club operates. I wouldn't be surprised if we entertained it. Don't think it's going to happen. Let's wait and see. Benfica are now pushing to sign Felix in early June in order for the forward to arrive in time for their Club World Cup campaign. I have basically thrown the towel in with Joao Felix. I am 100% sure the right thing to do is to get rid of him. So if he wants to go back to Benfica, I'm sure that would be something that he would entertain personally. Chelsea, obviously, we know that it's not worked for Felix with us this year. It was the wrong signing in the first place, wrong profile of player. We shouldn't have done it. And a move back to Benfica. Benfica are also in the Club World Cup. I think it's good. If we're selling to clubs that are competing in that competition this summer, it's the right thing because they're going to be looking to get business done early too. And the last thing I want to see this summer for Chelsea is to have a bloated squad going into pre-season. I think Maresca or whoever is in charge needs to know what they're working with. And that means signing players early so that they can play in the Club World Cup. But also, the Club World Cup could be a good thing. It's kind of like the pre-season to the pre-season. I know a lot of people are saying, the players are going to be knackered. We're going to suffer from it. I think the Chelsea players need this, to be honest. I really do. I think the squad needs to be together for more, for longer, if we're going to see cohesion built into next season. We move. Everton are not currently planning on turning Armando Broja's loan into a permanent move unless Chelsea show a willingness to budge on his £30 million cost. This is mental, right? Armando Broja has done pretty much nothing in football now for a couple of years. £30 million? Nobody is going to spend this type of money. No one. So Chelsea here, we're going to be left in a position again where we are either considering using Armando again, which I think at this point that ship has sailed. 30 million. How is this still the valuation for him? I'm sorry. No offense to the bloke, but like I said, nothing has happened in his career really yet to suggest that he's worth this. So Everton, I don't see them buying him, and I just don't see anyone buying him at that cost. We move. Enzo Maresca's comments, right? This is where we slowly start to segue into this Legia Warsaw game. Maresca asks whether his style of play can entertain Chelsea fans. First of all, 100%, and then because I am not able to do a different style. Let me take a quick sip of my coffee, because I need a bit of energy for this. He's not able to do another style. Blimey. Not able or totally unwilling. I think there's a big difference there. Any football manager does have the capacity to learn on the job. They do have the opportunities, I'm going to say, to change things stylistically. Take a look at Arsenal, for example, right? I made a video about them today on More GBFC. Blew Real Madrid away at the Emirates. Professional, defensive, but like still clinical going forward, not necessarily defensive at the Bernabeu. Two different game plans, but the plan is still to win. Chelsea Football Club, quite often, with the one game plan that we don't have the results. We don't have the victories, right? So if we can't play any other way, then bloody hell, what are we in for? We are going to be just what? Like struggling to break down low blocks forever? Is this something we've just got to like, are you going to, I can't accept this. What is he talking about? He's not able to do a different style. It's crazy. This guy, every time he speaks right now in the media, is getting on my nerves. Enzo Maresca says Chelsea supporters must trust his style of play, defends his record, but admits the players need to engage those watching. I think it is important that Maresca acknowledges here that the players do need to actually do more when they're out there on the pitch. And in terms of trust in the style of play, it's beyond that at this point. At this stage of the season, the only thing that matters is how many points we have, what position we are in the league, and what that means for next season. So it's going to be very difficult for Chelsea fans to trust in you, to trust in the style, to trust in the squad, if we see us go from 2nd to 6th from December till now and we miss out on our targets again. No one's going to trust you. It's as simple as that. It's clear that the style and direction is the right one. Before Ipswich, we were 3rd best defenders behind Liverpool and Arsenal. We were 3rd or 4th best attackers. We were, okay? That is past tense. And the football season doesn't wait for anybody. We can't go at the end of this season and be like, oh, well, you know, we made serious progress because we were 4th for most of the season. It doesn't matter where we were. It's about where we are and where we finish. That's the only thing that matters in football. It's as simple as that. And look, in the last 2 seasons, Chelsea was never in the top 4, and most of this season we were in the top 4. This basically proves what I'm saying. Chelsea have set a fee of 50 million euros for Renato Vega. Juventus want to extend his loan for the duration of the FIFA Club World Cup. 50 million euros, yeah? Mega! Serious money. Again, I don't know if we're going to get 50 million euros for Renato Vega. What do you guys think? I think it's an astronomical sum of money that we're asking for here. Romeo Lavia has returned to full Chelsea training after missing the last couple of weeks through injury. He is not in the Conference League squad, but is now in contention to make the squad for the weekend's trip to Fulham. If there is any kind of positive saving grace between now and the end of Chelsea's season, and something that I can actually back to believe that we could still get Champions League football, it's the return of Lavia. My only concern is, how many returns of Lavia have we spoken about? It's almost like the flipping Star Wars series at this point. Do you know what I mean? The man doesn't stay fit. I can't actually see a world where between now and the end of the season, he's actually fit enough to play and not get injured again because of all of the other examples we have. But if Lavia is fit, great news. But he can't play tonight against Legia Warsaw. So, now that we've spoken about the news, let's move into tonight's Chelsea lineup, beginning with Conference League goalkeeper Philip Jorgensen. I'm not going to speak about goalkeepers anymore because the whole conversation really grinds my gears these days. I'm not going to lie to you. We move into the back 4. You can see here, this is interesting. Josh Achampong, right back, absolutely has to be the case for me. Tosin and Badia Shield, bit of an aerial threat there. And Ish Samuel Smith, who has just signed a contract extension at Chelsea. First of all, delighted for him. I think he's a really promising, talented youngster. And I think tonight, this is a perfect opportunity to bring him into the first team. We're 3-0 up from that first leg. And Legia Warsaw, they offered absolutely nothing. And as much as they had that shot at the end of the game that Jorgensen saved, other than that, for 90 minutes, it was so simple for Chelsea. The first half was a snooze fest. And then we turned it on in that second half, and we were really good. So I think there's definitely a world here where we need to be looking at this. Stamford Bridge, crowd behind us, get some minutes for the youngsters. That's what fans are going to buy into as well. If we see a strong team tonight and then see more boring football, trust me, the groans, the moans, and the frustration at Stamford Bridge will be significantly more than if we see the youngsters, which is why Sam Raksaki, I'm also putting him in the middle alongside Kieran Dewsbury-Hall, who actually, quite quietly, has been performing quite well in this competition. And I think he's starting to settle in a little bit more now. He knows he's not going to be a mainstay. He knows that Lavia, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez are all ahead of him in the midfield pecking order. But he's doing a good job in this competition. Moving into the front four, Netto, Palmer, George and Shinmueka. I think Netto, he needs a bit of confidence right now. Palmer also significantly needs some confidence. I think he needs a goal. Tyreek George has been in great form. And Shinmueka, I think, has got to start. Chelsea, even if we don't win this game, I don't think, right, when it comes to a competitive game, I don't think I've ever been so, carefree about what happens today. Because I don't think we're going to get beat by 3 goals or more. So I don't think Chelsea qualifying for the semi-finals is in jeopardy, really. I mean, I might be wrong. That might be a stupid thing to say. But I think this is about giving some minutes to some academy players, getting some players out there that need to prove something right now. I think Palmer's actually needing to prove something here. I think he just needs to score to celebrate again, to remember what it feels like. Netto, I think Madueke and Sancho, they're taking his spots right now. I think he needs to do something too. And Shinmueka, I think there's a lot of opportunities here. You've got Achampong, Samuel Smith, Raksaki, George and Mueka. That's balanced. And then you've got some quality in there too. This should be good enough, shouldn't it? To beat Legia Warsaw at home. Chelsea are 3-0 up. Surely it's got to happen. Let me know your thoughts on all of the Chelsea news. Let me know your predictions for the game tonight. I do think it's going to be, I think we're going to win 3-2. I think Legia Warsaw will score goals, but I think we will as well. 3-2 win, 6-2 aggregate. We move into the semi-finals. Let's just try and win the trophy so that we can say again that we've officially won it all. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And make sure you tune in tonight because we will be live for Chelsea Legia Warsaw. See you guys there.